Why your small habits never stick. You decide to change your life. Nothing extreme, nothing dramatic. Just one small habit. Drink more water. Read 10 pages. Exercise for 5 minutes. It feels harmless, easy even. And for a few days, it works. Then something strange happens. You stop. Not because the habit was hard, not because you forgot, but because the part of your brain actually controlling your behavior never agreed to the change. That is the part almost nobody tells you. Most habit advice assumes your conscious mind is in control. It assumes that if the habit is small enough, you will do it. But human behavior does not work that way. Because habits are not mainly controlled by good intentions. They are controlled by something much older, something automatic, something that starts moving before you do. People love to say, start small. And that advice is not wrong, but it is incomplete, because a habit can be tiny and still fail. 5 push-ups can fail, 2 pages can fail, 1 glass of water can fail, not because the action is too hard, but because every habit must pass through 6 invisible gates: environment, friction, emotion, reward, identity, and repetition under stress. If those forces are working against you, a small habit is still walking into a rigged game. Let us start with the first gate: environment. Most people think habits live inside the mind. They do not. They live in the world around you. A bottle of water on your desk changes behavior. A phone beside your bed changes behavior. A book on the pillow changes behavior. A bag of chips on the counter changes behavior. Your environment is constantly voting for what you will do next. And most of the time, it is louder than your intentions. The second gate is friction. Your brain loves the path that costs the least effort. If the healthy action takes 5 steps, and the unhealthy action takes 1, your brain notices, not morally, mechanically. That is why the phone wins over the book, the couch wins over the workout, the delivery app wins over cooking. A habit does not fail only because it lacks discipline. It often fails because the wrong behavior is easier to reach. The third gate is emotion. This is where habits become deeply personal. Most habits are not responses to logic. They are responses to feeling, stress, boredom, loneliness, overwhelm, relief. You do not always scroll because you want entertainment. Sometimes you scroll because your mind wants escape. You do not always snack because you are hungry. Sometimes you snack because your nervous system wants comfort. And if a habit is trying to compete with emotional relief, it is fighting a much stronger opponent than laziness. The fourth gate is reward, and this is where most small habits lose the fight, because the brain is impatient. Bad habits often pay immediately. Good habits often pay later. Scrolling feels good now. Skipping the workout feels good now. Staying in bed feels good now. But reading, exercising, saving money, learning a skill, those rewards are delayed, and the human brain has always been biased toward now. If one action gives relief in 3 seconds, and the other gives progress in 3 months, you can guess which one the automatic system prefers. And the fifth gate is identity. This one is more dangerous, because after a habit fails enough times, it stops feeling like a failed action. It starts feeling like proof. I am just not disciplined. I am the kind of person who never sticks with things. I always quit. That shift is catastrophic, because once a failed habit becomes part of your identity, your brain starts defending the failure as if it belongs there. At that point, you are no longer fighting a routine. You are fighting a story. And then comes the sixth gate: stress. This is where almost every habit reveals what actually controls you. Because habits are easy when life is calm. Anyone can drink water on a peaceful Sunday. Anyone can read 10 pages when the day feels light. The real test comes when you are tired, busy, anxious, running late, emotionally drained, under stress. The brain does not ask what is best. It asks what is familiar. And that is why people do not rise to their goals. They fall to their patterns. This is the hidden truth behind small habits. The villain is not motivation. The villain is not laziness. The villain is not that you chose a habit that was too ambitious. The villain is automation, a system of cues, emotions, rewards, and identity loops, running familiar code before your conscious mind can intervene. That is why a tiny habit can still collapse, because the habit itself is small, but the forces controlling behavior are not. If habits are controlled by systems, then habits do not stick because you try harder. They stick because you change what is controlling you. That means make the cue obvious. Make the good habit easier. Make the bad habit harder. Attach the habit to an emotion or identity you want. Reward the action immediately. And most importantly, design the habit for the version of you who is stressed, distracted, and tired. Not the ideal version, the real one. Take reading. Most people fail at reading more not because they hate books, but because the system is wrong. The book is hidden. The phone is visible. Reading feels slow. Scrolling feels frictionless. There is no immediate reward, and the identity is weak. So instead of saying, I should read more, you change the system. Put the book on the pillow. Move the phone away. Read 1 page, not 20. Mark the page when you finish. Let the win feel real. Now the habit has a chance. But there is one more reason people fail. They build habits for calm days. Then act surprised when those habits disappear during hard ones. A habit that only works when life is easy is not really a habit. It is a mood. Real habits survive bad days. So if your reading habit is 10 pages, your stressed day version might be 1 paragraph. If your workout is 30 minutes, your survival version might be 5 push-ups. If your journaling habit is 1 page, your fallback version might be 1 sentence. A habit that shrinks under pressure is still alive. A habit that disappears completely is not. This is the moment most people misunderstand. Success is not about proving how disciplined you are on your best days. It is about protecting the pattern on your worst ones. Because every time the habit survives, even in tiny form, you teach your brain something. This is what we do. That is how identity changes. Not when you do something big once, but when you keep doing something small long enough, that stopping begins to feel stranger than continuing. So here is what I want you to take away from this. Not a checklist, not a productivity hack, just one shift in how you see yourself. You are not broken because your habits keep failing. You are just playing the wrong game. You have been trying to force a new behavior into a system that was never designed to support it. The environment was not set up. The friction was working against you. The emotions were pulling in a different direction. The reward was too far away. The identity had not caught up yet. And the moment things got hard, the old pattern came back. Not because you failed, because systems always win. So stop fighting yourself. Start designing a system that fights for you. Put the book where the phone used to be. Make the workout so small it feels almost embarrassing. Give yourself a reward your brain can actually feel today. Decide what kind of person you are becoming. And then do the smallest possible thing that proves it. Not for motivation, not for discipline, for evidence. Because the goal is not a perfect streak. The goal is to make the new behavior feel more familiar than the old one. And that takes time. It takes repetition. It takes surviving the bad days in whatever form that looks like. 1 paragraph, 5 push-ups, 1 sentence, 1 glass of water. That is enough. Because small habits do not fail because they are small. They fail because something bigger is controlling them. Now you know what that something is, which means next time, You are not starting over. You are finally starting right. If this video made something click for you, drop a comment below and tell me which of the 6 gates has been secretly blocking you. I read every single one. And if you want to see what happens when you actually fix the system, the next video is already waiting for you.